if I was an employee, right, that was forced into becoming a businessman because of my employers firing of me, right? Then me being an employee that knew that I was going to become an asset of my corporation, right? Then knew that I had to set the moral standard for my corporation because I am the founder of it. So if I have seen Nike, right? Because I was young when Nike first came out, and it wasn't hot in the hood, right? Because we used to wear Chuck Taylors because of Dr. J. You see what I'm saying? And Magic Johnson and Bird. See, they used to wear Converse. So Converse used to be the Nikes until Michael Jordan became the spokesperson for Nike and then became Michael Jordan. So now, if I saw Michael Jordan make Nike um, the number one shoe in the world, right? And I saw the post office giving me the opportunity to become marketable, right? So when they took my 21 condo hotels, if I'm looking at it from a marketability standpoint, then why wouldn't I then market my survival tactics, right? See, if I'm a businessman, then why wouldn't I become a product of business, right? So if I have a business model, then why wouldn't I be the model of my business? See, this is what I'm telling the slave or the descendants of slaves, right? I'm saying everybody in the United States of America, right, was either property of somebody in the 13 colonies or they was owned by King George the Third, who owned the colonies, the 13 colonies. So how do anybody who is a descendant of a founder of the United States of America can say that they wasn't slaves? So like when Jesus was me, the Caesar Abraham said that we have never been enslaved. We have never been in bondage. So obviously Jesus wasn't talking to an Israelite, right? Abraham couldn't have been an Israelite. So see, Abraham and Adam had to be the kings of that time because they was talking about the promises that they was inherited. Now, when was a slave inherited, promised anything? See, we keep going back into slavery because of Adam and Abraham's violation of God's covenant, which is the laws. That's why it's hard for countries to stand the test of time because of the greed of its leaders. See, so once the leaders start violating the law, then they're using the establishment against the citizens. So that's taxation without representation. So see, I can understand why the business entities in the United States of America is scared because of my business model. But see, I'm telling those for whom are workers or those for whom come from the projects like I came from, I'm saying this is a living model for a better life, but you can't be made of excuses, right, and then become the solution. Because if you arguing over the problem, then you gonna become the problem you arguing over. But see, when you stop blaming people and you start becoming something, then you have living proof that you have changed your circumstances. So once I change my circumstances, why wouldn't I then market the proof? See, that's why I have written over 100 books, because the books I wrote while I was learning. See, so instead of me like trying to remember what law or remember this, I just, once I read it, I chronicled it, and then now I'm selling the history of it. That's why I don't want you to edit it. Just like the Bible say, you're not supposed to add or take away. If you want to know what I mean, then that's why I use the dictionary to define what they say my language mean. Because really, I'm supposed to be able to change my language. Like, that's why I say when I pronounce something, I'm saying, well, hey, in my world, this is how I sound. But in your world, that's how it sounds. So, okay, right? But now you think that you funny, but I'm saying, well, what happened when it's my world and it's like I say it is? Just like Caesar Augustus said that the whole world had to pay him a tax. Well, if I'm using Amendment 16 to then levy a tax because the United States of America and the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning violated Amendment 14, Section 4, and they refused to pay me my bounty. So now because of Amendment 16 and the services that I rendered in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12, 2008, at 10:40 in the morning, coupled with the services that I rendered federally in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018, I am entitled by law to levy a tax on the United States of America and through its 50 states and its territories for services rendered in accordance with Amendment 16. So see, like Caesar Augustus just said that the whole world had to pay him a tax because of his physical war prowess, right? But me, I'm showing you the law that the founding fathers who was once property of King George when they was in the 13 colonies said to preserve this experiment that you must use to then show yourself approved in this new experiment called the United States of America. So have I not unified the United States of America in accordance with the founding fathers' request? So see, in order for America to be entitled, then you had to use the founding fathers' documentation to prove that you are a citizen of this democracy. And that's what I did in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12, 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, just like the leaders of the 13 colonies did it on July 4th in 1776. See, so why is my history any different than their history? It's still history.